Of course, a day later, I think of all sorts of stuff to add that I didn't have before. I checked. This is Wilshire. Basically, if you don't go to the Grove and go south, this is what you find.
What's up, y'all? This is my morning today. I'm doing some writing. I can show you that in just a second. Eating my lunch, working on some pages for the pilot of that Tinder Hearted business, which I really like the name of.
Here we go, y'all. Finally feels like I'm moving into this space. I've got a couple of my outlining tools up on my wall now. Of course, my most important addition to my sweet vlogging wall. This sweet business is my first residual check for my acting.
Well, I spent today looking at gyms. And even more writing. Say hello to James Dean. I think today's episode is going to be about people. Cassidy started by introducing me to just a few really cool people, and the first was, of course, her best friend Emily. There were also Natalie and Patrick. I probably won't give out any last names, but Natalie invited me and Cass to her birthday party, and there was some fantastic food. This is back while Cassidy was still in LA, and it was a really fun time. They're both really down-to-earth people. Of course, that may have something to do with the fact that they're not trying to work in the film industry, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. As I mentioned before, Colin's been really great about introducing me to people. He's invited me to a couple of things just basically with him and his friends. Ooh. And generally, if there's any reason I would be going along, he's good about inviting me. Even when Colin and I were just starting to figure out our living situation, the night that we were hashing out the details, he invited me to go get drinks with his girlfriend and him, and a guy named Daniel who wants to be a writer and a producer out here. Since then, he's been introducing me to his scene partners at his acting class and his occasional visitors, like Daniel and Chris, who's done some ministry things with Mosaic and also writes. He invited me to a post-proposal party that some friends were throwing for him. And I met some really hilarious people like JR, got to know Christopher a little better, and met a girl named Callie who is Colin's girlfriend's roommate. She's really involved with musical theater down here. And so we talked about Sondheim and singing classes and cruise ships. She actually had some interesting information about working as an actor on cruise ships, which I know we've talked about before. A lot of those things actually get cast in LA. Then of course there was the photo shoot that I was able to tag along for, so I met a photographer and some people that she lives with. And then I try to strike up kind of whatever conversations I can with the people that I find here. Say hello, cat. Hello. Cassidy, I told you. Perfect triple whammy. At Space Station Casting, I was able to connect with an actress and then the mother of an actor. And I just said, this is my first audition. Is there any way to combat the nerves? And we got talking a little bit. The mom of the other actor was actually able to give me some good information about some producers in town and kind of how things work in this casting world. Then there was my Uber driver the other day bringing me back from my audition. He's trying to be a rapper, but in some ways those two pursuits are very similar. Each thing is kind of a big game. And of course there's one sense that people use that term, which is like the rap game or the acting game. When I say it, I really just do mean it's a game and there are a bunch of people playing this big silly thing. But he gave me some advice that was really similar to my contact back in Dubuque, who I'm just going to call my guardian angel from here on out so I don't have to keep explaining it. Just someone with sort of mystical powers to be called on only in dire need. It's good to produce things yourself, basically. Anything you can do to advance your own career, as opposed to trying to be good enough for somebody else, that's what you should be doing. The big one's actually going to be coming up on this Thursday. Colin's boss is apparently a really generous guy, and he's got a big old house that he lets his employees house sit for him sometimes. He wanted to give Colin a chance to celebrate a little bit with his engagement.
So that party was a great plan, but turns out it's not happening after all.
So on Thursday, we're going to go over there and keep celebrating. Colin's going to invite some people from his post-proposal party.
That's alright though, because in its place, I'm just going to put another audition.
Cassidy connected me with somebody on Facebook. As one of her old friends, she's trying to cast a student film. So wish me luck on round 2. But I'm meeting people. I'm having a good time. Then there are the people who I haven't even met yet, like a couple of actors who Cassidy and even Seth Stoltenow have connected me with. Colin actually introduced me to a pretty ingenious way of keeping track of all my contacts down here. So I'm collecting a lot of numbers and trying to get a lot better at memorizing names.